So Chris, a good 3-1 win here against Poole Town. How are you feeling after that?
Delighted, really. I mean, didn't get off to the best of starts. A little bit of a wobble in the first minute or so, and going a goal down. We looked a little bit kind of uneasy with the ball, which is unlike us. But the boys showed character, and I mentioned it to the lads at half time that it all kind of like sparked into life from a big tackle from Rio. Big tackle, big moment in the game that kind of gave the boys some inspiration, a bit of a boost, and I don't think the lads look back from that. They raised their physicality, they raised their quality, intensity, focus, all those kind of superlatives, if you like. And from that moment, I felt as though that was probably one of our best performances of the year not in terms of kind of like brilliant quality and cutting edge kind of play, but just in terms of a real gutsy performance. One where that midfield battle was fantastically led by some experience in there with Bretty, and the two Garside's energy was a joke. And then obviously with James getting an early knock and Hawley coming on in an unfamiliar position, did excellent with added his energy and his focus as well. So it was a great effort from the boys, and physically, mentally, and they showed that little bit of quality. And we've been talking about all season about how we deliver balls into the box, getting players into the box, and a lot of our goals came from those moments today, and testament to the boys for being in the right positions and making the right choices in those moments. So showed good character and being able to see it out with an onslaught of some very good play from our opponents, and testament to them that they didn't give up, they kept plugging away, and fortunately we were able to stand firm, and Ruts making a fantastic save at the end shows his quality again.
You speak on effort and character there. Obviously it must be pleasing for you, despite obviously going 1-0 down, to show that sort of performance, to come back and score 3 goals to take 3 points. Absolutely.
We've been a little bit flat the last couple of weeks. We can't really put a finger on why it is, whether it's we've lost players that have come in and done well for us and scored a lot of goals. We've lost players that have scored goals, and whether the lads felt that we didn't offer much of a goal threat. I mean, it goes to show that if we play the way we can play and we get into good areas, we put the ball in the right areas and get players in there, anyone can score. And it's great to see us scoring the goals that we have done today, and Righty getting on the end of one, and he was fantastic. So a real monster of a target man for us, and when we needed to go up to him, he was fantastic. So yeah, real character after a bit of a wobbly start, but I felt once we got back in the game, we were quite settled, we were quite in relatively good control of proceedings to a certain extent, until almost that third goal that went in. Poole Town a little bit more physical and a little bit more direct with their play. It caused a couple of problems, but it's great to see the lads at the end there coming off with kind of cramp and tight calves, just showing that those are the pains that are good pains, reward for some really good work, and the intensity's back. And we've got to make sure that next week going into Winchester and beyond, that we bring that energy, that fight and that focus.
Just speaking on Righty, obviously it was a really physical game, but he battled really well and got the goal that he's deserved for many weeks. Just a bit on his performance today. Yeah, testament to Righty. He's worked hard this year. He's got himself into some good shape, and he wins the penalty, which is fantastic for him. But in all honesty, he probably wouldn't have got there 4 months ago. But he's put some work in. He's becoming not just a good performer on the pitch, but somebody who understands his role. And when he's come off the bench, he's given physicality, he's given experience, and he's given us a real foundation to build on. And he's been patient, and he's understood that he has to provide certain aspects that aren't necessarily goals, and he did that today fantastically well. And he's helped the group. He's been a fantastic character for us in and out of the dressing room. So I'm really pleased for him today, and hopefully that'll be one that starts that ball rolling, a little bit of momentum for him to finish the season on a real high. Obviously the win today's put us in quite a good position going forwards, just ahead of Winchester next week. Just a little bit on them, a little bit on our opponents next week. Yeah, well, I haven't had much chance to have a look at that. I'll, as we say in cliche in football, one game at a time. We'll kind of debrief from today and relax after a tough fixture today, and through the week we'll have a little bit of a look at our opponents. And I said to the lads before the game that every team that we're playing from Hungerford through to the rest of the season have already beaten us this year. Yeah. So there's not one club that we're going to come up against from now to the end of the season that are going to fear us, because they've already beaten us and they'll believe that they can beat us. So we've got to try and bring the effort, the fire, the energy that we did today, that focus and that real tenacity that we had after kind of 10 minutes of the first half. We've got to bring that week in, week out, and that will frighten teams. That will make them stand up and take note of what we're doing, and that will give them a wobble. And when we play like we did today, we will cause any team in this league a problem. And
And that's the thing that we've got to look forward to for the rest of this season and into next. Try and bring that momentum, bring that kind of culture. You know, we spoke to the players before the game about what makes us, if that makes sense, and that typified it. They went out and delivered exactly what it is that makes us who we are.
Perfect. Thank you very much, mate.
Brilliant. Thank you.